All right, we are live. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Giants fans, we are back with another edition of the Young Guns podcast. I'm joined here by my boy, The Hub. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Yo, we're actually back. Shout out to I almost said Edward. I was supposed to go then Edward Justiano, but I said them both at the same time. Tashima and Jersey Life in the chat. How y'all doing? We back, and it's a good thing that we missed last week because there's even more news this week, man.
Exactly. There's tons of news to get into. The Giants have had a couple of, I think one or two padded practices.
I think it's been two, yeah.
Two padded practices, and it's
Yeah.
been physical to say the least. We've got fights, we've got showdowns, we've got battles. Love it. We're seeing some tough competition here in Giants training camp. Can't wait to get to all of this. But first, what do you want to break down first? What do you think we should break down first? What should we talk about now?
I mean, you know what? And by the way, a lot of people just influx. Shout out to Nerding Out Sports, Paola, David AV. You know what? Let's start off with.
What's up, Paola?
I feel like we should just do general NFL first, then get into the Giants because that was the first thing that was in the chat anyway. So we can get into the Yannick trade rumors. I mean, the fact that Clowney's still out there. Somebody brought up Yannick versus Clowney. I mean, in my personal opinion, Yannick being traded, like the Jaguars said, he's going to be traded within the next day or two. I'm thinking he's either going to like the Jets or the Colts or somebody that has cap space and actually needs him. But for some reason, the only team that's coming to mind is the Jets. Like, I feel like they're the only team that will make a trade like that for him.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think as Giants fans, we all need to kind of slow our roll a little bit. Our hopes of trying to get Yannick Ngakoue or even Jadeveon Clowney, we're just not going to be able to do it. With the cap space that we have, listen, we weren't even able to pull off a deal with
here's the funny thing, though. We actually have cap space for Yannick, apparently.
That's impossible because we have $10 million.
Bro, apparently we do. I saw a tweet that said the Giants are like one of several teams that have cap space for him.
Yes and no, because technically, if I guess the Jaguars pay him that like a portion of that money, maybe all of that money, I don't know.
It definitely has to do with the fact that he's on the franchise tag as well, and not on an actual like contract.
Exactly. So I don't know if the franchise tag is being paid by the former team or the current team, being that we're kind of getting into the season already. This isn't like straight up off season, so I don't know how that works. But as far as should the Giants even make this trade, even if we have the cap space this year? I say the answer is no, because we still have to save up cap space for next year. We have to roll over that money. We have $10 million right now. We're expecting that money to get to 175 next year. That's what pretty much the consensus cap space is next year that a lot of people are talking about. So I just don't think we should do it. I'm not in the running for any type of pass rusher right now. I think we should trust me.
We have so many bodies back there. It's crazy.
Exactly. We have so many guys out there. Let's just use this year for the pass rushers to be developed, to develop. And if something happens down the road where we have the opportunity to get a great pass rusher, or one of these guys develop and we don't need one, then that would be better. I just don't think Yannick is worth it right now, especially that we don't feel like the Giants are really going to be competing for much. Maybe we have a shot, but I just don't think Yannick takes us over the edge.
Exactly. I mean, like, even if Yannick comes in, and shout out to Mike Nixon, King Andy in the chat. Mike says, Hub, Kid Blue, what's up, brothers? Had fun last night. Hub, can't wait till do it again. I mean, what he's referring to is I made it public in my video. I'm like, I'm just going to be watching the Lakers game, and I'm just going to be in my Discord in the voice channel if anybody want to tune in and chat with me. Mike Nixon was the only person that pulled up. It was like me, Mike, and like a couple of my friends. And yeah, we literally got into like a top 5 all-time NBA conversation, and somebody said that Kobe Bryant was better than Michael Jordan, and that became a very fun debate to have.
I'm sure that went insane.
but Mike, yo, it's basically going to be whenever I'm not streaming, whenever I have time next. And back to the football thing, I completely agree with you, KB. I mean, let's keep it real, man. How much impact is Yannick really going to have here? He's going to come in, and I think undoubtedly the 2 starting outside linebackers is going to be Yannick and Marcus. Marcus is already going to have, I think, a good, consistent 8 to 10 sack season. Yannick is probably going to, I mean, do we know if he's going to have an 8 to 10 sack season? I mean,
that seems to be where he's around, but
that's where he's around. But
that makes your point. We already have a guy that's going to give us those 8 to 10 sacks. You know what I'm saying?
So what somebody else would say is that, okay, now we're gonna have two guys that gives us that, but there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Guaranteed that Yannick's gonna come in and actually do what he did with the Jaguars. The Jaguars have always had a respectable defensive line and linebacker group and cornerback group. No matter how bad their defense is, they've always had talent on it that made it somewhat respectable. There's always been an argument there from even before Yannick, since last year, there's always been the argument of how good is he really and whatnot. And even all that, I don't want Yannick's personality in the Giants locker room right now. I don't know if he's going to be down for running laps. I don't know if he's going to be down to be taught rather than, having a coach tell him, okay, go do this drill and then we'll see what happens. I don't know if he's going to fit what's there right now.
Yeah, and on top of that, the rumor is the second-round pick is going to have to be given for Yannick Ngakoue. And unless the Giants really plan, because we don't want to pull another Leonard Williams, if the Giants really plan on re-signing this dude and signing into a long-term contract, I suggest you don't give up a second-round pick for a one-year thing that, the Giants, let's keep it real. We're not really going to be competing for too much this year. And even if we were and we just needed that one person, I don't think
KB, listen, man, as much as we're realistic Giants fans, as much as I want to say we're not going to be competing for anything, man, after these two padded practices, you don't know how hype I am. I'm like, yo,
I am. Trust me, I am.
I am like at the hype level that I'm like, yo, we could can we beat the Steelers? I'm like, yo, can we beat the Steelers week 1, yo? And wow, why?
That was quick.
Why?
That was quick.
Oh, I'm getting a call from somebody. That's why I never get a call during these times.
Popular today.
I know, right? Because usually, I don't get calls from that many people. Just like my friends and family, they know my schedule. So that was weird. That was the scam caller thingies that shows up.
Oh yeah, scam likelies. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I've never had one this late before. That's not weird at all. All right, let me just
up late now. They want to talk to you. They want that night voice,
Exactly, man. And Mike says, was there any news from training camp today? As far as I know, there wasn't that much, unless you count the Cody Core news, which wasn't really training camp news.
They really focused on the DBs in the training camp video. The
training camp. I saw the video. Yeah.
Yeah, they really focused on a lot of DBs. We could touch on James Bradbury later. He's been getting beat a little bit. You mentioned to me. I've seen Corey Ballantyne's been trying to hold his own. He's been back and forth, especially with Benjamin Victor, who has been really making his name known around here, as well as a guy, C.J. Board, who has really been impressive.
Since he came over, I don't want to say he's been nonstop top of the line, but since he came in, he's basically been getting people's attention.
Right, and this is what I love about training camp, guys. The guys with no names fighting and scratching and clawing their way to success, man. They'll do whatever it takes, man. It's those stories that I really love the most. But, first off, guys, I just want to do a quick shameless little plug here. The Nick Gates film review is finished. And it will.
But what is it coming though?
It's going to be coming tomorrow. But if you are a channel member, you can see the video tonight. So you guys would get the inside scoop on Nick Gates, the full video. If you guys are a channel member, it will be given to the channel members. You guys can watch it, and then it will be out to the public tomorrow. Very excited about that because it's been long awaited. I had it recorded. And while I was editing it, I was editing it, and then I went away for a couple hours or whatever, and the computer, I don't know, I couldn't find it again. I don't know if I deleted it by accident.
Bro, what?
Yeah, it was gone. So I had to oh, that's great. I got to re-record this.
Did you check autosave files? Because I know
I checked autosave files, and for some reason it was I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. So I just did it again, and it came out better. I feel like it came out better. So I guess that was a sign.
You already know, man. Nerding on Sports is very excited for that, bro. Number one Nick Gates fan in here, bro. Other than you, of course, the number one Nick Gates fan.
Nerding out sports. If you don't have a channel membership and you want to see it early, you just get a channel membership. You'll see it tonight. You'll see my actual thoughts on Nick Gates tonight. And I had a lot of fun.
So are you telling us that you've been faking your thoughts on Nick Gates this entire time?
No.
Okay. I mean, it's just the way you worded it, bro.
This film review really opened my eyes to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. Let me just say real quick little, not really a spoiler. Okay. There are some goods in the Gates, and I give him high praise for certain things, and you guys will be very excited to hear what I have to say. So
Nick Gates, along with the entirety of the offensive line, Mark Colombo has been basically making these dudes real aggressive, man. The entire offensive line.
Yeah, and as we shift into that, great little segue there. We've got our first fight breaking out here in training camp. We've got Shane Lemieux, the nasty run blocker that we all knew was going to be one of the guys with an attitude on that offensive line, and he's already showing it already against RJ McIntosh. Your thoughts on that, man?
You know what's funny? The first day of training camp, before I did like a recap, I did like a what I want to see. And word for word, one of the things I said is I want to see a physical training camp kind of like 2018 when Will Hernandez and Damon Snacks Harrison
Yeah,
fought. I was like, I
yeah.
don't want to see an injury because I think Snacks rolled his leg or something. But I was like, I want to see that. Second day of training camp, we basically have a junior version of that, Shane Lemieux versus RJ McIntosh. I'm like, all right, bro, this is what I want to see. Thank God there was no injury with this one. What I gotta say about that is, man, I love it. They were going out there to kill each other. They were going out there to go to war, man. That's how you know the practice was like straight football. That's how you know the practice was actually probably the closest thing to a preseason game, the closest thing to a real
Right.
game that they could have in the time that there isn't going to be a preseason game. So I like that, man. I like it for Nick Gates and for RJ.
And I just really love how it's for two young guys, two young guys trying to make this roster. It's not guaranteed, everybody has to earn their spot. RJ McIntosh, every single year, the Giants are adding a new defensive tackle.
Exactly.
Most recently, Dalen Mack. So his job is on the line. He's got to fight to put food on the table, man. Fight for a roster spot. And Shane Lemieux coming in as a rookie, who is not starting
because it's not just Dalen Mack. The guy from the Titans, Austin Johnson,
right.
is also a
Austin
threat to
Johnson.
RJ's job.
Exactly. So I mean, I love to see it, and I love the physical practices, man. I love what Joe Judge is doing, and I also want to segue now in Jersey Life. What's going on? 27 squad represent what's going on. But I also want to talk about the recent kind of comments and recent rule changes to Joe Judge's type of structure. I know I made a video that was an unpopular opinion. I got some hate on it, but I don't say anything to please anybody, man. I say what's on my mind. So, I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Before we get into that, it seems like a couple of viewers in here, David Avey and Mike Morena. Maybe you want to talk about the receivers a little bit. Mike saying the receivers were cooking. David saying the receivers were cooking. Mike saying watch out for Mac. I think in terms of Austin Mack, he's looking like a young Julian Edelman out here. Do you want to talk about that first, or what's happening?
Oh yeah, we could talk about receivers. I mean, I don't know if was he talking about Mac or was he talking about Dalen Mack?
He said young Edelman, so I'm gonna assume Austin Mack.
So Austin Mack. Okay.
So in terms of receivers, KB, you actually brought up a good point before we went live. You said you're not sure how to take it in terms of both the receivers' performance and the defensive backs' performance because of how practices usually go.
Exactly. So, we were talking about, the DBs versus wide receivers, and then we're talking about, Andrew Thomas versus some of the edge rushers, and we're like, we don't know if it's a good or bad thing that these guys are getting beat, right? So Andrew Thomas apparently was knocked to the floor by Lorenzo Carter using a bull rush move, and that's something we don't see from Lorenzo Carter. He's pretty much a prototypical speed
Yeah.
rusher.
And then later in Lorenzo Carter's press conference, which they released today, he's like, I've been working on my power too.
Exactly. So I mean that's something you love to see, but again, I have this. I'm always torn every single year. Every single year when I see something great happen, I'm like, but damn, that's our Giants player he just mossed, and damn, that's our Giants player he just cooked. So
that's where I'm coming from. I texted KB about this, and Edward Chan actually agrees with me because he commented on my video. I don't know how to feel about James Bradbury so far. Granted, I'm going to preface it by saying I recognize what everybody's going to bring up. I recognize it's only been 2 practices. Like KB said, these things are usually scripted, and usually offense just wins out in practice when it comes to the receivers versus DBs. It's just the way that practice goes. You're going to get a completion more often than not, a interception, so to speak, right? So it's the thing is though, I've seen James Bradbury in the defensive back, focus video today. He just looked completely uninterested whenever Jerome Henderson, the defensive backs coach, was teaching him. He looks, I don't want to say like lazy. He just looked like he's like, all right, I already noticed. You don't really need to teach this in front of me. He looks like he just wants to get back to practicing. He wasn't really buying into the teaching, which I'm not sure how I feel about because he's a veteran. The veterans are going to be the first people that need to buy into all the philosophies. It's not just the teaching, but also, the physical stuff and whatnot. So I was like, all right, I don't know how to feel about that. He's been getting mossed a couple times in practices from the videos that the Giants put out. And so far, he hasn't really made any type of impact, whether it's a big play or even in the Giants articles, we're going to talk about, all right, here's some players that have made impacts, or even here's the honorable mentions, the guys that had good days. He's just been kind of completely silent. In a real life situation, if it was a normal football season, that's kind of a good thing for a defensive back if they've been silent. It means that they're doing their job. It means that usually they're not messing up. But I'm not sure how to feel about it because, like you said, it's definitely it's tearing me two ways.
Right, I completely agree. So as far as James Bradberry goes, yeah, you're right. I haven't seen any highlights of him come out lately. He's breaking up a pass, he's intercepting a pass, which I'm not gonna lie, it worries me a little bit. But
I mean, we gave this man like $15 million a year.
Exactly, $15 million a year. He's like the third highest paid cornerback in the NFL right now.
He's gonna be the anchor of that secondary because he's the only DB that's like a lock. Like we all know they're all competing, but he's locked in. He's the only one that's locked in.
And speaking of cornerbacks competing, Darnay Holmes, 3 practices, 3 straight. What was it? Standouts, right? He was nominated and he was given the standout 3 straight days in a row. I believe he's had a couple of interceptions already. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He had one in the first padded practice and whatever practice there was right before the first padded practice.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's been absolutely going off. And, a couple of drills I was watching, he's very quick, very, reacts very, very fast. And that's something you want in a slot corner. I could pretty much only see him playing slot corner.
Thank you, man. Listen, Darnay is going to win that slot corner job, man. And no disrespect to Julian Love. But the more and more I see Darnay perform, the more and more I'm like, he's a lock-in for that. Low-key, don't be surprised if he's the best cornerback. Don't be surprised if he performs better than Bradberry next year.
Right.
Like, he's just so prepared coming into the NFL level of play, and it all does with his football IQ. And then, this is his second year off of like a foot injury or an ACL injury or something. So he's going to finally be back up to form. Like if you thought he was good last year, he was even better in 2018 when he wasn't injured. So he's going to be really good this year, at least from a physical standpoint. I mean, Darnay Holmes is just getting better and better.
Yeah, so I really want to see these guys develop. I haven't heard anything about Julian Love yet. I don't know if he's on the field. I haven't even seen him on the field. I really want to see what's going on with Julian Love because there's still a spot, an open spot at that second cornerback position, and I'm really not confident. I don't even think the Giants are confident in putting somebody there yet. I mean, Corey Ballentine has had his moments where he was, I believe, a standout a couple of times or maybe once, but he has been struggling as well, especially on, a guy, an undrafted free agent like Benjamin Victor, Derek Dillon. A lot of people saw that highlight in Derek Dillon, that slant post route, kind of burning.
Shout out to Borden Arrow in the chat, by the way. His comment is exactly Derek Dillon is fire. And then Mike Nixon right after says Derek Dillon looking good with the double move for the TD.
Yeah, and listen, Derek Dillon could be like this year's Darius Slayton. Why do I say that? Because LSU
literally the same. He's the exact build that Slayton was last year.
And if you look at Derek Dillon's film, I mean, he didn't catch well. He didn't run really good routes. And LSU, I know LSU has some crazy talent. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, that was there for the wide receiving core. But I mean, Derek Dillon was on the field, but was never utilized. He was never thrown to. Even with that blazing 4.29, 40-yard dash speed, he was still never utilized there in LSU, which honestly,
it's understandable. It's stacked at LSU.
Exactly, but with a speedster like that, you would expect him to be thrown deep a couple of times. I mean, I'd never see it happen, and so that raised a couple of my eyebrow. But I mean, he could be.
Well, no, I agree with you. It might be a far fetch, but hey, man, Slayton, same build. No hands, no type of route running, just speed. That's what Derek Dillon is right now.
Exactly. That's what Derek Dillon is right now. And right now, already in camp, he's starting to show that he's maybe a little bit more than that.
But it's funny you bring up the Slayton thing, just kind of going back to Holmes. And shout out to Rick Nash in the chat and James Cabrales. He says kid from LA. The only kid from LA on the Giants is Darnay Holmes, who I'm going back to real quick. The way that Darnay Holmes is progressing in this training camp really reminds me of the way Darius Slayton was progressing last training camp. Because and every single training camp practice last year, one player that was constant was Darius Slayton. The one thing you heard was with each practice, he got better and better. That's what Darnay Holmes is reminding me of. He's the one constant, and each practice, he's just getting better, better, and better.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for Darnay Holmes. He's probably one of the most exciting guys that I'm looking forward to this year. Yes, I'm wanted to see more from Xavier McKinney and Andrew Thomas, but out of the rookies, man, Darnay Holmes seems like the guy that's gonna make his name known real soon. When it comes to game day, not a lot of people, not a lot of football heads really know Darnay Holmes. You have to really be paying attention to know who he is.
Another cornerback that's been having a good one is Corey Ballantyne, and if you could highlight Edward Chan's comment there talking about Ballantyne and Dylan, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, that slant post shouldn't count. Ballantyne locked him up for 3 seconds. Quarterback wouldn't even look at the wide receiver because how locked up it is. Yeah, I saw that highlight too, and it's funny because Bob Papa made a mistake and Carl Banks had to correct him. Bob Papa was like, "Oh, and there goes Derek Dillon beating out Corey Ballantyne and making a catch." And Carl Banks was like, "No, he didn't beat him out. It's just that he took long enough, and he was running long enough, and the quarterback found him." So I thought that was pretty funny. I started laughing when I heard that Carl Banks correcting Bob Papa.
Ballantyne is the dude. Like I'll be honest with you, he's the dude that looks like he's gunning for that second cornerback spot right now, and he was your favorite.
I don't see anybody else really competing. I don't hear anything about Julian Love. I don't hear anything about this Hardage guy. I don't even know who he is, but I know he's on the roster.
Then there's the Williamson guy we drafted this year, and Christian Angelo, who we signed as an undrafted free agent as well.
Yeah, man, I like Christian Angelo. I loved his film, but I was watching some drills for him, and he just couldn't respond quick enough, man. Like that drill where he had to, beat press and use his hands on the dummy to then press and move out. He wasn't responding real well. I mean, I'm not saying that's the be all end all, but that you can tell like he needs.
You gotta factor in that the dude was an undrafted free agent as well.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not in competition right now. The guy I really see winning that job, and I don't see anybody else really competing, is Corey Ballantyne, and Julian Love would have to be there, but I don't see Julian Love anywhere so far. So
the more I hear less about Julian Love, the more I'm thinking to myself, they're definitely going to run a triple safety of Love, McKinney, and Peppers.
Maybe, and that will be
because he's not going to go back to special teams. He's too good to be on special teams.
He's not just going to be on special teams. I want to say what's up to Rick Nash. What's going on, Christopher Tony? What's going on? He said, "Hey guys, what's good? What is good?" McKinney dropped Engram.
Draped Engram.
Draped Engram. Okay, I was like, what? Draped Engram.
Yo, McKinney dropped Engram, bro.
Made the catch.
We can get into that right after. Yeah.
What he's talking about. It wasn't Engram. It was Caden Smith.
But speaking of Engram, we could get into that right after because I don't know if it was today or yesterday. One of the last 2 days, it was either Freddie Kitchens or Judge himself that said, "Yo, Engram is progressing at a really nice rate."
I hope so. And listen, Engram said in the press conference that he is focusing on his health, and that's something we want to see, man. Because I'll tell you right now, I've said this since we drafted Evan Engram, and trust me, I'm not an Evan Engram fan coming out the draft. I was not a fan of him coming out the draft. I'm still not a fan. I really wanted Ryan Ramczyk.
I still believe we should never have drafted him. I mean, I like the dude, but we should have never drafted him.
I was a Ramczyk guy from day one. I was making videos about Ramczyk like we had him. I was so set on Ryan Ramczyk that year. But with all that being said, Evan Engram, if he plays all 16 games, this guy's a top 5 tight end. I mean, if he can get, sometimes he has the drops, and sometimes he misses some crucial catches. But listen, with his speed and his mismatch ability,
and he got bigger this year. Last year he got bigger to improve blocking. He got even bigger this year once again to improve his blocking.
Exactly. So that could tell that he wants to be involved. He's not one of those guys that says, "Yeah, I'm talented," but never stays on the field. He really doesn't care about what's going on. He wants to be on the field. He wants to be utilized more. You look at Jimmy Graham. Did Jimmy Graham ever care about blocking? Absolutely.
Jimmy Graham was always just like, "Yo, give me the ball, bro."
2014, Jimmy Graham was trying to switch to wide receiver, and Sean Payton said, "Hell no! What are you talking about? No, you're not." So Jimmy Graham never cared about blocking. Evan Ingram's different. He said, "I'm a tight end, even though I look like a wide receiver. I am a tight end. I want to block." So that's something I really love. And it might keep him on the team. And what?
Listen, I'm telling you, man, I put out my expectations for the 2020 season. One of them that was on there and that was 100% last minute addition is I expect Evan Engram to play at least 10 games this year, just because he's been in rehab for 10 months now. He's never been in rehab for more than 6 or 7. All we know, this 3 extra months is going to give him 3 extra months in the NFL or something like that, because he's never spent this long in physical therapy. He's never concentrated this much on his health. Like, maybe the dude just hasn't spent enough time recovering from his previous injuries, and that's why he keeps re-aggravating the injuries and whatnot. Like, he finally had surgery on that problematic part of his body. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I expect him to be healthier just because it's literally been 10 months of him doing nothing but rehab.
Right. I hope so, man. I really hope this is the year where where his body can take it. I hope this is the year he stays more careful with his body. Maybe it's him being reckless with his body and just throwing himself around that's really getting him hurt. We don't know what really the cause is, but he's got to stay healthy. Want to give a quick shout out to Mickey C. Mickey's always welcome. She's always throwing out some. He is always throwing out good comments. Johnny Munoz says, "Run for Judge." And listen, this is what I wanted to talk about.
Whoa. Before we get into that, right? Because Mike Nixon, what an interesting one, if you could highlight his. He says on the Giants roster, an answer to our question earlier, they listed Love as a cornerback starter. He finds that interesting. Mike Nixon, you sure that isn't the roster from last year? Because I don't think they updated until they released the roster.
The official depth chart yet. They didn't throw that out there yet, and I don't think that's going to come out till right before the season starts, honestly, because they have like no time to even think about it. They have to get this done, you know. Mm-hmm. So real quick before we mention Joe Judge situation, they say. Oh, no, sorry. Christopher Tony says, do you know how Ryan Connolly is doing? I haven't seen anything about Ryan Connolly yet.
Anything about the middle linebackers, to be honestly.
Huh?
Anything with the middle linebackers, to be honest, not much information there.
Right. I haven't seen how Blake Martinez is doing. You know, anybody. I saw Cam Brown, instead of playing interior, he off-ball linebacker, he was playing.
Yeah, Cam Brown was playing. I was surprised by that because I always thought he was too small to be used as an outside linebacker.
Yeah, he's a little lanky, but he's like a Leonard Floyd guy, because Leonard Floyd is straight like a stick, but he was still able to get to the.
But Floyd packed all muscle. I mean, Cam Brown is literally still the same way he was when we drafted him.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, we'll see what happened. Ryan Connolly, what a throwback. What do you mean? It's last year.
Throwback, yeah.
But he practiced, so he's good. So, yeah, let's talk about Joe Judge, man, because I want to get your thoughts, because maybe we disagree on
all
some.
Right.
Okay, so here's my thing, all right? I completely agree with the running of the laps of the players. I'm fine with it, and especially taking off the names of their jersey. I thought that was like hell yeah. Like,
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I always thought there was no names on the jerseys during training camps. I didn't know they had names on the jerseys.
There was, but some NFL teams don't have them on. I don't know if that's a choice or if it's for the same reason that Joe Judge is doing it. But Joe Judge said, "Hey, do away with those names. It doesn't matter what your name. I don't care if your name is Saquon Barkley. I don't care if your name is Daniel Jones, and I don't care if your name is like somebody like, I don't know, Deion Lewis. Like, not as important, right?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter who you are. At the end of the day, you're just a guy. Your name means nothing. Go out there and earn your spot. You're going to have to earn it again. We're in the new offseason. Earn your spot again." I loved that message that Joe Judge was putting out there, taking the names out the jerseys. And I'm okay with the running of the laps. I know that at the end of the day, these are professionals, but let's remember,
they're on a football team, bro.
Sterling Shepard, who was drafted in 2016, is the longest tenure Giant in the Giants organization right now as far as the players go. Okay, that is unheard of. That's crazy. Sterling Shepard is 1 year removed from his rookie contract. Okay, let's get that straight, everybody. This is a really young team, and they're gonna have to be treated as such. Listen, young guys hate being punished. Okay, we don't like being told what to do. We don't like paying for our mistakes. All right, go out there and go running.
I'll tell you this though: the young ones are the ones that are way more malleable. If this was a team of veterans, it wouldn't fly at all.
Exactly, it wouldn't. Not only that, it's professionalism. They've worked too damn hard in their lives and in their NFL careers to be running laps after mistakes. You know, they deserve that respect. But this is a young team; they have to be treated as such. I completely agree with that. And here's where we might part ways. I don't know if we do. The coaches running laps. I think this is the most stupid, absurd thing and most disrespect of authority I've ever seen. Now, I don't know if you saw my video from yesterday, but did you see my video from yesterday? I
saw the title.
Okay, so I mentioned the story of myself when I was a coach. Okay, and this is not to say that coaches should be soft and they should be spoiled. This is not that whatsoever, but there's a certain level of hierarchy that should be maintained. And so when you kind of discipline if you're an authority figure to another to another group and your authority figure like reprimands you in front of the people you're in charge of, that kind of sends a different message. They're not going to look at you the same. They're not going to look at you as the strong leader that you are, So if I put this in example in my video, okay? I said, let's say Jason Garrett calls just a deep 4 verticals play, right? On a 3rd down and 4. And it's a terrible play. And also on that play, Daniel Jones throws an interception. And Joe just says, what the hell was that? That was so garbage. That was terrible. Jason, go run a lap. Daniel, you too. So now you've got Jason Garrett running a lap with Daniel Jones. Jason Garrett, who's had 20 plus years in the NFL, is going to be disciplined the same way a second-year quarterback is disciplined.
I just want to say I'm about to shatter your entire argument, bro.
Okay, I want to hear it because I need some understanding in this, man.
So first and foremost, I'm gonna need you to highlight any one of Jaden Dawkins' comment. He's just spitting straight facts, bro. All right, he's just spitting straight facts. All right. Second of all, KB, just listen to me real quick with what I'm about to say.
Random.
Just listen to the question I'm about to ask you. Do you think Joe Judge was about to go tell the players and announce to the world that even coaches were going to run laps if the coaches did not sign off on him doing that? You think that was about to happen? If he did not have a meeting with them, was like, you guys are okay with this? All right, Ben, no objections. All right. Because, bro, you know why? He's had them in every single one of his decisions. He's had to have them in every decision that he's made because he's a rookie head coach. Once again, it's why he has a bunch of veterans on his assistant staff. But second question, and somebody else said this, I can't remember who. What are even the parameters for the coaches going to run laps? What is it there other than just lip service? Because I haven't seen a single coach run lap yet. It's only been players.
Said it in the Bob Papa and Carl Banks. They said that they filmed people, coaches running laps. I didn't see it, but Bob Papa.
Exactly, that's the thing, right? But yeah. I will say that what are the parameters? 1 and 2. I don't expect coaches to be making mistakes like that. In fact, I expect the number to be 0 because I don't think the coaches are going to be making any type of mistakes. I mean, they're coaches, but it's even putting that aside. Like maybe every now and then there's a coach that's going to be making a mistake. And when I finish here, I'm gonna let you get to Dylan's super chat. The thing is though, going back to the parameters, what is even like? How bad does it have to be? Is it calling a bad play, or if the players match up? There is no parameters for that, which goes back to me saying I don't expect them to be running laps at all. Exactly. Even though the rule is there.
Exactly. The rule is in place, which is fine. And here's one thing I would be on board of. And Dylan, I'm going to read your comment in just a second because I know it's a crap talking damn comment about Madden. I just see it right there. But hold on, Dylan. Let me finish my point before I forget it. You're right about the whole parameters, and it's like, I would totally love it if Joe Judge was out there running laps with them, not talking the talk, but walking the walk. Here's what I would want. Not if you make a mistake individually. If one person makes a mistake or a group of guys make a mistake, everybody runs. So the whole team plus the coaches plus the head coach, they all run. I would love that. That's what I would.
Wait. If one guy makes a mistake, the whole team is running?
Because you're a team.
Kid Blue. Practice will never be finished, bro. They're going to be running laps all day.
You know what I mean? You add it up at the end of practice or whatever it is. You have to run a certain amount of, laps around or whatever.
I don't know. I feel like that's mad inefficient because there's going to be mistakes made every time. Like there's not going to be – there's not. I don't think even for the players, right? I don't even think players are running laps every time they make a mistake. I think they're running laps every time it's like a mistake that shouldn't be made. And there's like a difference between that, between making a slip up and between doing something that should not have been done because maybe it's what you've been drilling all day. Maybe it's something very basic, like I don't know, just getting into your stance before, as a pass rusher before going up and spiking up. I think the laps are only being run for mistakes that like should be like at this point the fundamentals, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I really, you're right. I want to know the parameters of what it is that will make you run a lap, especially if you're a coach, because I will be okay with it if someone were to explain it better. But how I'm seeing it right now, I'm seeing coaches who have been head coaches before, like Freddie Kitchens and Jason Garrett, running laps next to young players. I just can't see. I don't like it. I don't think that's a good representation of I'll get into my example in just a second, but
get to the super chat.
My bad, Dylan Renner. It feels so bad. This has been his profile picture forever now.
It's gonna stay that, bro.
Yeah. All right. So Dylan Renner says there will be a rematch. You keep yapping your mouth and talking. Just wait. I'll become more prepared next stream. When will your next Madden stream be? You keep blowing that off. Scared the rematch will come.
I don't think Kid Blue streams Madden. He posts videos of Madden.
The reason why he's so mad right now is that he commented on my video earlier saying that stinks, and I said just like your Madden skill, and I think he was in his feelings on that one. But I like I said, I want to know what the parameters are. But what was I was gonna move into a different subject. I can't remember what I was gonna move into.
I mean, let's see. We covered the offensive line versus defensive line thing. On the Lorenzo Carter versus Andrew Thomas thing, something just popped into my mind. My mind. Pause. Something just popped into my mind.
Something just popped into your mind. All right.
Lorenzo Carter was a senior or a junior. He was basically senior in college when Andrew Thomas was a freshman. So Lorenzo was a better player in his final year of college than Andrew Thomas was as a freshman. Throughout that year, even though Thomas at the end of the year was one of the best offensive linemen in the country, I think we all forget that Lorenzo was considered a steal in the third round when he came out of the draft.
He was drawing first round praise before.
Exactly. So Lorenzo got the better of Andrew back when they were at Georgia together, because once again he has that 2 year age gap on him. So maybe he did whatever he did at Georgia back then, and he's like, all right, I know how to get this dude down, because they know each other.
Yeah, right. And there was an article posted on Giants.com saying that they're pretty close. And Bronx B Squad is in the building. My guy himself is in the building.
Yo, look at his comment under yo, bro.
Mr. Demigorgon, what up, Bronx B Squad? You become a favorite of mine recently. Let me just, I gotta do it. I've got to do it. Just throw it up there. Just throw it up there.
Bronx B Squad always be on my streams too, bro. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's cool. Patrick Torres, what's going on? People will be quick to judge Thomas for getting there will be no preseason.
Yeah, I agree.
About this, me and Hub have talked about this on multiple podcasts. Like, Andrew Thomas is going to struggle, guys. He's going to struggle, and I don't want anybody to sit out here and say he's a bust and we shouldn't have drafted him. We should have got Ngakoue back then or something like that. All right, slow it down. He's going to struggle. He's already struggling. All right, just a quick spoiler alert. He's already struggling. Lorenzo Carter's beat him. Leonard Williams has beat him, and Marcus Golden has beat him. All right, he's getting beat. All right. But he's going to learn quickly. He was a number 4 overall draft pick for a reason. He was the best tackle in the country for a reason.
I mean, yo, I'll tell you this. I love what I heard from him in his interview, in his press conference. The dude asked him straight up, what is something you need to improve on? He's like, in pass protection, he gave a straight answer. He's not like, oh, I'm just working hard. I'm coming in every day. He gave a straight answer in both pass protection and run blocking we need to improve on. He said in pass protection, he's like, I usually have my arms outside of my frame. I need to correct that. I need to get my hands inside the frame so I get a better hit. And then he's like, in run blocking, I need to set my feet properly. It's all about footwork and run blocking for me. I just need to get a better base. He was straight up in what he needs to improve in, even though, coming out of college, he was the best at both. He's like, I know what I need to go.
Right, like Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson always like breaking down a play or what he should have done and stuff like that. I love to see players do that, man, because it gives you just something better than a cookie cutter answer. Like, we always get the same answer. Like, what do you want to improve on? Well, I just want to come in every day and just get better and work hard and get a chemistry with the guys and stuff like that. But I love when people just give a straight answer. Thomas is learning and is a rookie. People were quick to judge Jones after his first.
I mean, it's a completely different situation with Dan Jones. People were hating on him from the get-go, so that definitely plays a part in it as well.
Yeah. So I mean, we just had some crazy.
Cody Core, bro. Cody Core.
Cody Core. All right, this broke my heart today. It did. I'm not gonna lie, and people would never think that you would be so affected by a special teams guy, right?
Kick returner,
a special teams gunner. I loved Cody Core last year. His chemistry that he had with Riley Dixon was absolutely insane.
Yes, bro.
Riley Dixon could punt it anywhere.
The Giants special. I just want to say real quick, the Giants special team is so underrated last year. We were one of the top special teams unit in the game, bro. People forget that we had like what 2 or 3 blocked kicks. We had a special teams safety because we blocked the kick and recovered it in the end zone on the Patriots game. Like you talked about the chemistry between him and Dixon, bro. The special teams for the Giants is underrated, and the chemistry they have is a big part of that.
Yeah, the Giants were one of the best special teams units in the NFL last year. I mean, almost every single punt you felt like was going to be inside the 10. And Cody Core, I need to figure out the stat on that. I don't know if somebody could find that for me, but how many times did the Giants pin the ball inside the 1? Because it's happened multiple times, and Cody Core was the reason. Now, Riley Dixon did it himself a couple of times where the ball went out of bounds by itself at the 1 yard line. Like the chemistry that these guys had, like Cody Core could be like, I'm just saying, could be like the next Matt Slater for the Patriots was,
that's definitely a big shoes to fill.
That's a huge shoes to fill, but the way Cody Core has been playing as a gunner is absolutely insane. I love seeing him out there.
And he was good enough in kick return as well. Like, remember, I said Corey Coleman when we kept Corey Coleman, I was like, he's gonna have tough competition even making the team again as a special teamer because Cody Core is there. Like Cody Core is definitely underappreciated. Shout out to Joseph Clark in the chat. He says the Cody Core injury hurts. He was our best special teams player. I mean, last year, yeah, he was. Last year he was definitely our best special teams player.
Riley Dixon was great too. So
it's a toss up between them two.
Yeah, their chemistry.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Riley Dixon is another, like, special teams is so underrated, but we have a great punter as well, man. Like, the special teams is good, man. Like, at least the punting section, we all know we've had problems with the kicking section. That had to do with both the kicker and the long snapper. Hopefully that's fixed with Graham Gano and Casey Crater. But when it came to punting and the gunners, we were good for, like, the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I don't even think Riley Dixon was that good on the Broncos, was he?
He wasn't that good on the Broncos. He was like average.
He had a really good year with the Giants, man. I'm just happy. And Mickey C says Holmes played gunner in college. Yes, and let's not forget another name I love bringing up because he's awesome. Corey Ballentine, Mr. Do-It-All. Corey Ballentine in college blocked 3 kicks in 1 year. All right. He's a special teams guy. He was a gunner in college as well. I think Corey Ballentine is going to be, even though he's a starter, I see Corey Ballentine starting at gunner for the special teams unit. I just think he knows how to play special teams. Unless we find somebody else that can be like a Dwayne Harris for us back then.
Speaking of which, Dwayne Harris just went in with the Ravens. He might get signed by the Ravens.
Really?
The only reason I know that is because every now and then I keep up with old Giants receivers. And Dwayne Harris was a guy I liked, but yeah, he just had a meeting with the Ravens.
I love Dwayne. I thought he was really underrated as a receiver. I think nobody ever wanted to use him, but he always came through as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Christopher Tony says, "Go ask BTA how he feels on the subject." We've moved past that subject already.
Had a great 2016, yeah.
Yeah, had a great. Yeah, I liked Brad Wing, man. I just think he felt.
We let him go just because he had the same issues that our kicker had, with abuse. I think.
Yeah,
I think they both had those issues. Edward Chan says, not even being pessimistic, our offense is average or a little above, but our defense is still 20 to 25. All right. This was in my expectation video as well. I want to know your expectations, not predictions, but expectations for this. My expectations for the offense is anywhere between 15 and 10. I really have high hopes for them. And then for the defense, right now, I would think our defense is actually 25 to 32. I still think we're that bad. But if they actually get the fundamentals down, which they did not last year, the defense could be late teens, early 20s. What do you think?
As far as points per game?
Yeah.
Late teens, early 20s. I don't think so. I want to say that will be a step up from last year. Where were we at now last year? 28?
In terms of points per game, I think it was 28. However they do overall defense, I think it was like 24 or something.
Oh, we're talking about overall defense. Okay. I thought you meant points per game. Sorry. So you said late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
I would agree with that then. I'd probably be as optimistic as you are. I'll say we're in that top 20 range and we'll get close to 15. Should everything go right? We have a lot of questions on.
Yo, should everything go right? We have too much. As crazy as it sounds, we have too much talent on the defense for it not to be average. Should everything go right? Like it's crazy to say that, but when you go back and look, we have a lot more talent on the defense than people realize.
Yeah. Oh my God, we have tons of. And the crazy thing is, the reason why we're so underrated is that they're so young. And most of these guys, besides like Blake Martinez and Jabril Peppers and
Leonard Williams,
Holden, Leonard Williams, some of these guys are veterans and they've been there for a while. But you still have your Dalvin Tomlinsons, you still have your Dexter Lawrence. BJ Hill's not starting, but still, Lorenzo Carter. A bunch of these young guys. And Darnay Holmes is slated to be a starting slot corner as a rookie. These guys are extremely young, and that's why the offense is really going to have to carry help try to, push this team forward, man, because it's going to be hard.
So what are your expectations for the offense? Once again, I'm saying it's 15-10. I think the offense could be one of the best.
Oh, the offense, I could say, I really want to say 10. I do. I really want to say top 10. But that would mean just everything.
That means everything is going right.
That means Evan Engram plays the majority of the games. That it's a surefire thing that he plays the majority of the games. That means all the wide receivers stay on the field and they're healthy. That means that the 2 tackle spots are solidified. It means a lot of things. Not necessarily the center position, but a couple of things that you have to expect to go right. But I'll say definitely in that top 15 range. I'll say definitely. I think there's no doubt about it. I think even against the Steelers, this could be a shootout. I know the Steelers have a really good defense. We could list a bunch of those guys on there, especially Minkah Fitzpatrick, TJ Ward.
That's why I think a lot of people I feel like think it's going to be a shootout, but I think it's going to be a run first game against the Steelers. It's going to be way too sloppy. Both of them coming off the weird offseason and whatnot. I think both teams are just going to straight up go on the run. And if it becomes a run first game, we have way more chance of winning it than the Steelers do because Connor and their offensive line is not as good as everybody hypes them up to be.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the offense goes, I expect us to be really productive. It's hard, the scheme that we're now running and the scheme that the Cowboys run is a very old school scheme, and there's a reason why it's been around for so long. It works. Run the ball down their throat, get them tired, and when they're tired,
bomb it. not throw it, bro. Just bomb it.
Bomb it, right? That's how the Cowboys been making their money on offense, and they're always a highlight reel.
And low key, the Steelers have a similar. They don't have the same one, but they're built similarly on offense to run the ball and then bomb it. Although since Bell left. And since Bell is not Bell anymore, they've definitely been bombing it a lot more than before.
Oh yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay, I've never been a huge fan of him. I thought he really improved in his second year. I mean, he was good in his rookie year, but his second year he completely went off. And then he dwindled back down when he was then the number 1 receiver. You got a couple of guys in there, James Washington, Deontay Johnson. I believe they drafted another wide receiver as well, Chase Claypool, right? A lot of people loved him. We'll see what happens with their offense, but our offense, I think, is going to be a great offense next year. I'm telling you, we're going to love to watch this offense, and that's something we weren't able to say for a very long time. Want to give a huge shout out to Giants Alliance. What's going on, man? Welcome into the stream, man. Glad to have you.
Another thing I want to say to you, KB, and I kind of briefly mentioned it with Lorenzo Carter, but now also with Will Hernandez, and honestly, you could apply it to anybody that was on the team last year, but I'm applying it to these 2 specific dudes. And if you do want to apply it to anybody, let me know names specifically, right? Lorenzo Carter and Will Hernandez were 2 dudes that had great rookie years. They both have sophomore slumps last year, in my opinion, mostly because they completely relied on their raw talent and raw physical ability. But the reason they were relying on their raw talent and raw physical ability, and that was countered because, everybody had tape on them, the reason that happened was because we didn't have teachers last year on the coaching staff to teach them how to do technique and get past relying on their raw talent and physical ability. Because of that, I think that's one small reason that they're both going to bounce back. What do you think about that, and who else do you think that could be applied to?
I definitely think they are going to bounce back. You're talking about like if explain that a little better. Hold on, explain that again.
So what I'm saying is, I think they're both like I think Will Hernandez is going to be like a top 10 guard this year because all he ever needed to do was get his technique down and not commit mistakes like getting weird flags and whatnot. Like Will Hernandez last year got too many flags for me to be comfortable with. But the talent and the ability was always there because we saw his rookie year. Lorenzo Carter, similar thing. I definitely don't think he's going to be a top 10 pass rusher, but I do think he's going to come. I think he has the potential to have anywhere between a 5 and like 6 or 7 sack season, right? Okay. Which is definitely something that the Giants need right now. And I think the reason he was held down so much last year is because all he was relying on was his speed. He was not good in technique, and that's because the defensive coaching staff was terrible at teaching. But they're focusing so much now on teaching these guys fundamentals. I think he could be that person. And then those are just two players that come off into my mind that could have a season like that. But is there anybody else you're seeing? And well, first, do you agree with the statement? And then is there anybody else you could see like that?
Yeah, I completely agree. And there are a couple of guys that I feel like have been held back that really have potential. Blake Martinez is one of them. Blake Martinez constantly has been saying that he wasn't utilized right in Green Bay. If the Giants can get the best out of him, his potential is through the roof. We already know how he is as a tackler. He's a decent tackler. He says that he could pass cover. I believe he had a pass coverage play already in training camp. I've heard that happen already, that he defended a pass. So, I just hope that the Giants utilize him right. Another guy very similar to Lorenzo Carter, Oshane Ximines. Oshane Ximines had a decent rookie year. We feel like he can be a little better. I feel like if he just cleans up on some stuff, I think he possibly has more potential as a pass rusher than Lorenzo Carter. I'm a huge Lorenzo Carter guy. I just think they're different guys. They're different pass rushers. Mm-hmm. Oshane used.
But I'll tell you, if this man actually adds power to him, then that's a completely different beast from before.
Exactly.
Like if he's a power and speed rusher now, he did like a 180 from what he was before, man.
Yeah, exactly. And another guy, Darius Slayton, he has a lot of potential if he just keeps working at it. He's not there yet, but it's scary to think about because he's not there yet. The highlights and what he's done so far, I just hope he just keeps progressing. And yeah, he could definitely reach his potential.
Mikey C, let's not forget about GATES.
Mikey, I don't know, or Mikey, I don't know. You have to tell me how to really pronounce it. I don't want to mistake it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys are here. We've got more people in the chat. My Nick Gates film review is done. It's edited. It's going to be out first tonight for my channel members, and then tomorrow it will be completely live. So all the channel members, you will be able to see the Nick Gates film review tonight. I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's about a 29-minute video, but trust me, there's editing, there's jump cuts. Don't worry, it's not boring. All right, there's 29 minutes to sit through, but it's really, I guess, educational. Okay, I think I educated myself.
That's a long video, though. I think the longest video I ever made was just around 26 minutes. 29 is super long.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, what I've learned from offensive linemen doing that video was a lot, because I spent hours watching film and then pumping it all to a night, like taking out plays I really wanted to talk about and turning it into a 29-minute video. Guys, I guarantee you are going to learn something about the offensive line and about Nick Gates to see if he's good, if he's bad, who knows. But I just wanted to plug that up for you guys. And also, guys, if you guys haven't already, if you guys don't know who this awesome guy is right next to me is, make sure you guys check it in the description and subscribe to my guy, The Hub. Makes fantastic Giants content. He is on the come up, man, and he's rising quickly, man, and for good reason. Make sure you guys subscribe to The Hub. We do this every single week. We rotate channels every week. Next week it's going to be on his channel, so make sure you guys turn those notifications on, both on my channel and his channel, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, let's get on to these topics.
Listen, man, thank you for that. And I can't believe I still have to say this, but if you haven't subscribed to Kid Blue, do that as well, because it looks like we have a new viewer in here. Calvin, welcome, man. He says, you two are very talented. What are your professional ambitions? Please elaborate. So, I mean, there's still people discovering us every day. So if you don't know who Kid Blue is, same thing. Sub him up. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and all his social media links, and y'all will stay informed. In terms of professional ambitions, Calvin, I don't know yet. I mean, I'm currently studying computer science. I'm gonna be a junior this fall semester, which actually starts next week for me, my fall semester. So I'm still gonna be doing streams, but like in terms of video making, I'm gonna have to cut back because I'm gonna be occupied by classes. But I mean, I'm a junior, and I'm not sure yet what's gonna come out of that. What about you, KB?
Well, as far as professional ambitions, right now I am a mailman, so that's pretty much what's out for me. Hey,
A government employee.
Yeah, I'm a federal employee. All right, you don't touch me. That's a federal offense. All right, so, but yeah, that my ambition right now is just to grow this channel and make this a great. Now I'm part of a network right now, but I mean,
you haven't even plugged the Fans Event Network yet. I thought you guys are going to be having CJ2K.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, but yeah, just so you guys know. Good thing you brought that up, Hubs. I have to plug that in real quick. Make sure you guys also check in the description and check out the articles I've been posting on fantofanetwork.com. It's a network that we've started. We recently live streamed on Twitch last week, and we had former NFL running back Chris Johnson, who, guess what? You know how I told you that my city where I live in have a lot of different celebrities.
He's not from there, is he?
He lives in Claremont, which is 20 minutes from me, man. He's another guy. I mean, Central Florida is just
Florida in general just seems to be a hot spot for NFL players.
It's insane. I didn't even know that. But yeah, guys, we had CJ2K on our stream. I was in a Zoom call with CJ2K. But
what questions did you get to ask him as a preview?
We didn't get to ask questions. The fan ambassadors is mostly the host, and he was kind of just there, and we kind of just promoted his brand, the Just Love coffee that he's promoting and starting up. But I didn't get to ask him anything. But we all got to say.
Mike says get him on the podcast. That's gonna be tough. Listen, I think the only way we could get him on the podcast is if Kid Blue pulls up to his town, bro, because he's 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Says Mailman is for adults, not kids.
Listen, man, Kid Blue, you gotta stand up, bro, and let them know that your full height is well around the male average.
Yeah, right. Well around yeah. Well, we'll just keep it moving there. But
Christopher Tony, I don't know if that's the one you were gonna put up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna put up. He says, "Hey, no McKinney news." Well, we haven't really gotten too much of the safeties. I don't really know because
we did have one thing with McKinney. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, we had one play where he picked over Caden Smith. He actually had really good coverage on.
And also, last night in the physical practice, he was the only defensive back to come away with an interception. He had an interception on Daniel Jones that I guess you could see it in a live situation would have went back for a touchdown. So for everybody out there, and I've been defending Xavier McKinney, for everybody out there that says this man can't cover, there you go. He had the only interception in practice last night, bro.
Hey, but what is was it a box cover or what is a deep cover? Was it?
Listen, they didn't give all that information, man.
All right.
But I've been saying he's good enough in coverage. He's gonna be good enough in coverage.
But as a deep safety, though.
I have some faith. Okay. And besides, I still think they're going to rotate the trio, so I have even more faith then.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm concerned about. I completely agree that his physical ability is amazing. Like, he's going to be able to cover running backs out the backfield, the slot wide receivers. He could cover the tight end.
And some outside, too.
Right.
Especially if Jalen Reagor for the Eagles is going to be used on the outside, bro, he could take him.
Yeah, I think he can. But, when it comes to the deep coverage, I don't know how far his range really is. I think he's a very smart, instinctive player. I think he has great hands, great coverability, great footwork. I think he has all of that. But for some reason, every time I watch him, when he gets too far back, it's like he gets lost. So, I mean, I hope Patrick Graham is able to clean that up. The DB's coach can also clean that up as well. I think his name is Henderson.
Jerome Henderson.
I believe. I hope he's able to clean that up. But Mickey sees that 3 safety set is going to cause havoc. I hope so. Yeah. It's going to cause so much confusion.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. A PCA explained to me that it's going to be called a big nickel if they run 3 safeties out there. I fully expect them to be a good amount of big nickel sets. That's going to be amazing. That's going to be so amazing, bro. You got Love and McKinney on 2 opposite sides. Not Love and McKinney. McKinney and Peppers on 2 opposite sides and Love deep. That's deadly, man. That's going to be deadly.
I would absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
And Mike, I have like yo, you won't believe this, bro. I was doing my Fantastic Giants podcast, which is the fantasy football podcast. And these viewers bullied me into making a 3rd fantasy league, bro. they made me make a 3rd fantasy league because they were all like, "Oh man, I didn't get to join one of the 2 that I made." Like I made 2 specifically so that nobody could say that I didn't get to join.
They threatened you with unsubscribing.
Facts, bro. They were like, "Yo, make a 3rd one." I was like, "All right, fine." So the 3rd one's draft is gonna be this Friday. But speaking of fantasy football league, I've been trying to get a YouTube creators league going. I DM'd everybody. Kid Blues knows this because I have them all in a group chat. Literally, the only people that joined so far is Kid Blue and OGR. So I'm gonna need you guys to go and spam these dudes' comment. I'm talking like Tana, Bad Dog. I think we have PTA in there, and there's one other person I'm probably forgetting. But we've been trying to get like a creators league going.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun too, and hopefully we can stream that too. That'd be awesome. I can't wait to trash talk you guys and
PTA is gonna take the cake with that one, or maybe Bad Dog if he actually joins.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a PTA Bad Dog trash talking session.
Oh man. Yeah, guys, go ahead and drop your comments, man. If you guys want a question you guys want answered, there's plenty of stuff to talk about.
I saw one, Greg Davis. This was earlier that I had in my mind. He was like, the chances of Grant Haley making the team.
That's a really, really good question because I have not even thought about Grant Haley.
Grant Haley has not been in my mind.
Exactly. He
has not been in this universe for me for like the past couple of months, bro.
First of all, I think Grant Haley is just a slot guy, so he has to compete with Darnay, Julian. If Ballantine gets a look at slot, Chris Williams.
Actually, if he's just a slot guy, let's talk about who's going to be the slot guys for this season, right? It's going to be Darnay. Like, we're still not sure about Love, so I guess we should throw him in there. I mean, if he's getting looks at the triple safety, he's going to get looks at slot too because he's not going to be out there all the time. But then who's behind them? It would have to be Haley, wouldn't it?
It would have to be Haley. We'll see if Williamson turns out. It's hard. It's hard to really get a feel. I'll be honest with you. I like the talent that we have. It's just very like just similar to the edge rushers. Like I like the guy. I don't see any game changers. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree with you. Like barring James Bradbury, who's still who I think is a star in this league. He's just very underrated, although we already expressed our concerns about him earlier. Barring him, the cornerback group is essentially the edge rushing group. We know what we got there, but we know we got something.
Exactly. It's just a bunch of guys that need to develop. That's what it really is because we look at these edge rushers and we're like, we want them to develop because if they develop, they're going to be great. Ocean has a high ceiling. Lorenzo has a high ceiling. These guys have high ceilings, and even argue Carter Coughlin if you want to as well. People call him a gem.
I'll tell you this though, it all depends. And as my sister is coming back in, so let me just mute this mic and call my mom real quick.
She waved back.
Yeah, she waved back. I saw that she waved back. So just ignore that in the background while that's happening because I'm speaking right now. So What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it all in terms of Grant Haley making the team, bro. It all depends on how many cornerbacks we're carrying. That's all it depends on. How many cornerbacks are we entering the season with? And then there's even a thing with I think a lot of our linebackers or cornerbacks are gonna be on special teams. I think any leftover linebackers like Cam Brown, I think any leftover cornerbacks like Chris Williamson and like Grant Haley, I think they're just gonna go be on special teams, which is not bad, but they're gonna be used.
Yeah, I completely agree. Want to get to a super chat by my guy PTA Sports is in the building. Thank you so much for the $5 donut, my friend. He says, I know damn well y'all ain't showing feet up in here. Take a lap.
What is he talking about, bro?
About, man? Don't be exposing my night job like that, man. What are you talking about?
Yo, who told PTA these lies, bro?
You look a little nervous there, Hub. Hey,
listen, I was about to tell you a funny story that happened to me on stream last time, but because of that, I'm not gonna say the funny story anymore.
I actually need to hear it now.
Y'all don't have to bully me into doing that again, just like y'all bullied me into making a third fantasy league. But PTA, if you're still in here, bro, if Bronx B Squad is still in here, bro, Bronx, the Demo Gorgon himself was in here, bro. Right. So you're gonna need to roast this man again. He actually asked for it, so there you go.
Yep. Jaden Dawkins says the champ is here. PTA Sports. What did Dylan Renner say? He said, "I'm a commenter with 20 subs. Does that count?"
He's talking about for the Creators League. Listen,
Okay.
PTA. By the way, PTA is in here now. You still got to join the Creators League. I added you to that group chat. The link
Come
is
on,
in there.
you're slacking, man. You're
Yeah,
slacking.
you slacking, bro. Listen, at the end, if nobody if it's literally just gonna be like me, KB, OGR, and PTA, I'm fine with opening the other 6 slots or the other. No, I think it's the other 4 slots because it's an 8-man league to subs. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we got to get as much people as we can. Well, it's to fill in that role there.
But y'all definitely got to spam like Tana's and Bad Dog's channel because I don't know why they ain't joined yet.
Oh God, Jaden Dawkins says last stream Kid Blue was a Dallas and still is. Well, I guess
Listen,
Dallas.
Kid Blue, you still gotta use. Oh yeah, by the way, that super chat happened during PTA is still streaming right now. So thank you to PTA for coming out of his stream real quick to check into us and do that.
I appreciate that, PTA, man. I'll be excited to work with you again, man. But we had some more topics, but they're slipping my mind right now. I probably should have wrote them down.
There's definitely more. Corey Bantine's shoulder. I'm not sure if we addressed that because he left and then came back. He had a shoulder injury. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. We obviously talked about Cody Core. I mean, Saquon. I mean, Saquon ran laps today, but that was of his own accord. The coaches did not tell Saquon to run laps, but Saquon messed up.
Man.
Yeah,
that's a leader right there.
He knew he messed up, and at the end of practice, he went and ran his laps on his own accord.
I love me some Saquon, man. I love me some Saquon. Well, I was gonna say something. Oh, okay. So the Giants drafted. The Giants signed Daylon Mack.
Oh yes.
Right?
Yep.
Defensive tackle from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this is a guy from Texas A&M that I was looking at last year, just because I was going through a bunch of prospects looking at, and I liked him. I know Kiki Kingsley was also on that defensive line as well, another good defensive tackle for Texas A&M, and these guys were both drafted in the mid rounds. Daylon Mack, I don't know if you could probably explain something to me, Hub, but why are we focusing so much on the interior and we just don't care about the edge rush? Why do the Giants?
Listen, my theory is that we're going to be running more 4-3 than 3-4, even though we still have a ton of linebackers. That's my theory. Unless they fully expect Leonard Williams to re-aggravate his hamstring injury, which that's the crazy thing. The Leonard Williams' hamstring injury has been like Area 51, bro. One day it appeared at the bottom of a Giants article in one line with no explanation, and then that was it. We've never gotten any information on it since. We know he's been participating in practice, so in some way, shape, or form, he's healthy, but we ain't got no information on that. So if they're expecting him to re-aggravate his hamstring injury, then the Daylon Mack signing makes sense because the Austin Johnson signing made sense because he was there to replace Mario Addison, in my opinion, who we let go of, or maybe even there was another defensive tackle that we kind of just let go.
Mario Edwards,
yeah. So it's like Austin Johnson replaces him. Daylon Mack, I'm not sure. I said he's in here for a camp body. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's in here for a camp body. I don't think he's gonna make the team even as a special teamer.
Good camp body too.
Yeah, so I think he's just here for a camp body. But if they're being serious about bringing in this many defensive tackles, we're going to be running a lot more 4-3 than 3-4. That's my explanation.
And one thing as well that we're forgetting to mention, Daylon Mack is practice squad eligible. He's a guy you can put on a practice squad. He's good. He's all right. I mean, I'm not saying that he's like starter talent, but he's depth. He's def. Say one of these guys go down, we could take him off the.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Because Leonard Williams goes down, BJ Hill steps up, and that means RJ McIntosh shifts up. Daylon Mack is going to be behind him as a backup for all 3 positions. Because that's what McIntosh is right now. He's a backup for all 3 positions right now.
Right. I want to say give a quick shout out to Mr. YTC. What's going on, man? One of really good.
Calvin has a pretty good question in here.
Yeah, I was just about to go out to. It was mentioning the Cardinals, right? There it is. Yeah. So Calvin says, as a Cardinals fan, and welcome, Cardinals fan. I am very curious to know how you found the channel. I know I posted Cardinal stuff before, like last year. I was talking about the Cardinals. I made a couple of videos about the Cardinals, but
I'm wondering. I want him to look at my Kyler Murray and Drew Lock video where I said that the hype needs to calm down. I want him to come back and see if he still likes me.
So Calvin says, as a Cardinals fan, there were so many similarities between DJ and Kyler Murray during their first year learning curve. how do you think both QBs will fare this coming season? I'll let you answer that since you made the video on Kyler Murray.
All right. My video on Kyler Murray was I said the MVP hype needs to calm down because just like everybody else, I'm excited about his progression. And me and KB both spoke about this. When did being excited about a player progressing become putting them into the MVP conversation? I think it's ridiculous that he's in the MVP conversation.
Right.
I will say, though, if I had to pick somebody out of the two between DJ and Kyler Murray to have a better quarterback season, I'd go with Kyler Murray. He set up way better in terms of offensive weapons and scheme to have a better quarterback season. And also, they're not going to be running the football as much as the Giants are going to be running the football. In terms of both of them progressing, there's no real way for me to predict that, but I think they're both going to do well. I mean, this is probably going to be one of the only times where the first two quarterbacks that are taken progress as they're supposed to, progress. So where they're both going at a good rate. I think I agree with you. They both had similar learning curves last year. But there's definitely bias in me when I say I think Daniel Jones had a little bit bigger of a learning curve because he performed beyond everybody else's expectations. Kyler Murray's kind of met everybody else's expectations. I think they're both going to have really good years, though. If it comes down to quarterbacking years, and what I mean by that is the passing stats, I'd go Murray, though.
Yeah, I completely agree. Nathan Poland says PTA Sports sent me. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, PTA, for the shout out. If you guys had them come in here, but yeah, I agree with Kyler Murray. I don't want him to be hyped too much. I still agree. I still think that he's the best quarterback in the draft class right now, but I don't agree he should have been on the NFL top 10, top 100.
Yeah, him making it over guys like Carson Wentz and whatnot made no sense to me.
Makes no sense at all. And there's plenty of quarterbacks that probably could have been over him, and he was deep into it. What was he, like 60-something, 70-something?
Yeah, he was in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's asinine.
Shout out to Visit also. Apparently PTA sent Visit also.
Awesome. What's going on? What is going on? But as far as Kyler Murray goes, there's still things that he has to learn as well. I think Daniel Jones smashed expectations, like not even just from the doubters. I believe guys that even
from the believers,
guys that even like Daniel Jones are probably still surprised at what he did. I mean, I don't think anybody really expected what he was going to do. And, the sky's the limit for Daniel Jones. We love him so much already. And think about if he doesn't turn over the ball as much or fumble the ball as much, he had a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, even with all the fumbles. So I love Daniel Jones' potential, man. And so, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Dylan Renner's commenting about Colt McCoy, and he talking about the Washington football team. I know your comments about Colt McCoy, but I'm about to bring up some spicy news. I made a bold prediction in like one of the very first episodes of the Young Guns podcast where I said Dwayne Haskins is not even going to be the starter for Washington. Yo, listen, tell me why my prediction is about to come through because Alex Smith was activated, bro.
He's back.
Tell me why Alex Smith was activated. If he's in any shape to play football, he's starting by week 8 at the very latest, bro.
Who knows? This is a new regime. He probably starts day 1.
No, I'm talking about physically. I don't know if he's going to be physically ready to start day 1. That's why I'm like week 8 latest.
Well, he's not on the PUP list. I mean, he's
ready.
Fully
activated. He's ready. Yeah. I still think he's going to need time to get acclimated, though.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with that. But I think the Washington football team.
Washington. So I got a Washington fan that really tried to come at me and say, well, Washington football team isn't that much different of a name from the New York Football Giants. I'm like, yeah, it is. We have a symbol. We have a name. Though. We're the Giants. You guys are the football team. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a reason y'all are getting clowned, bro.
Yeah, it's more generic than a high school team. So
we've been around since 1925. The Washington football team has been around for 2 months. Like, come on, bro.
According to them, they're established 1932. That's literally their story.
Okay, bro.
But I think it's very smart. I think this is perfect timing for the Washington football team to get rid of. This is the perfect way to get rid of Dwayne Haskins, to say, listen, we made the wrong move. I think we should probably go after like a Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance or whoever it is, Justin Fields, right? In this next draft, and use Alex Smith this year as a bridge quarterback and say, we're going with Alex.
You know what's amazing about that? Alex Smith is like the perfect bridge quarterback. He has no problem with being that.
Exactly. And he knows he doesn't have too much left in the tank. What is he, like 36, 37 years old, 36, something like that?
Same age as Rodgers.
Same age as Rodgers. So, he's at the tail end of his career. He hasn't played in over a year. So, I mean, this is a perfect time now for the Washington football team to go ahead and get themselves
because let's be honest, Jacksonville is getting to what's his name? I almost said Tua. Jacksonville is getting Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
I'm not a Minshew guy either. I'm not a Minshew mania guy. I really don't care.
Even if I was a Minshew mania guy, the organization just wants to tank.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially you seen the moves that they're making to try to get out of that their cap hell that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Ligma says I will beat KB in a Madden wager $100. Ligma, I don't want to rob your mom like that. All right. I listen. Your mom probably needs the money. All right. I know you can't put
Rona, Rona and Bills.
Exactly. I know you can't put it up yourself, so you're probably, hey mom, I need $100.
Visit says it would be sick if they went with the White Wolves. I don't know about White Wolves, but if they were called the Red Wolves, which was an option, that would have been. Bro, the Washington Red, that's
yes.
sick. That's actually sick, bro.
Yeah, I watched it, and I see some concept art for the uniforms and the logo. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I mean, we won't know for like an entire year though, because with any naming things, OGR actually pointed this out to me. He went back and did the research. The average amount of time it takes for a name to undergo like a full renaming, rebranding, it's like around 2 to 3 years. So it might be more than 1 year, but I'm expecting to have it by next season.
Yeah, but in this case, it's different because it's kind of forced. It was forced upon. It wasn't like where they just wanted to change the names of their team or change locations, and this was a process. Like this, they need to do it now. Like they were forced off the name, and now they got.
They had their names in mind. It's just that one dude was smart and copyrighted all of them before they got.
First of all, he ruined it, man. Can we? We're trying to make the NFL a better place, man. I know we hate the Redskins, but they're in the NFC East, so we have to make them look good at least a little bit. Okay, we have to nicely present our division. All right. Mm-hmm. We have to nicely present it. So Bobbitt is in the building. What's going on, Bobbitt? Long time no see, man.
We don't need a new left tackle. We have Andrew Thomas. We're good at tackles, bro, for the foreseeable future. It's just that they need to develop.
Yeah, exactly. We need to develop. But I think Andrew Thomas will be fine.
Mr. YTC says, "Do you know how we're called?" I'm gonna let you answer that first because I think I have the answer actually.
I think we're called the Giants because we're in the media capital of the world. We're the big, the big apple. We're the big thing. It's kind of what New York is. We're big. Everything's bigger here in New York. I know they say everything's bigger in Texas, but back then, especially, New York was the the thing. And for a long time it was. I don't know if it still is. It probably still is, but the sports world, it's not because all the New York sports suck.
So the thing I heard, and I think that definitely plays a part into it, but the story I heard, and I think I saw this. Don't quote
skyscrapers. Me. I think it was the skyscrapers.
Don't quote me. I think it had to do with the skyscrapers, but also, part of it. Obviously, back then baseball was a way bigger sport than it is now. The San Francisco Giants actually played in New York at that time, and they were called the New York Giants.
And that's why they had to be called the New York Football
Giants. That's why they had to be called the New York Football Giants. But they wanted the name Giants for both, the bigger everything, the tall buildings, but also because they know they were going to get a lot of attention because there's a baseball team called the New York Giants at the time in the city. So, that's also why, the distinction football Giants and whatnot, but that's the story I know of.
Right, exactly. That's what I would think. That's what I would think.
Oh, yo, visit out here. You're saying you 6'8", 250.
6'8", 250. Oh, boy, would I love to be. Boy, it's very ironic because, of course, I'm a Giants fan, but I'm probably one of the shortest guys you guys ever seen. So it's crazy.
I mean, Giants wide receivers, barring Darius Slayton, ain't exactly tall.
I know, right? I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we have Dion Lewis on the team, little small Dion Lewis on there. So, yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
Shout out to Benjamin Wynn in the chat.
Oh, he came in the chat? I can't see it.
He's like a little bit.
Oh, he's up there. Oh yeah, with the Shane. Oh, let me just put that up there real quick. All right, Shailene Woodley. All right,
bro, go get a glass of water, bro.
Oh yeah, let me just take it. Wow. All right.
And Bobbitt says, "Who's shorter, me or Kiblu, bro?" I'm actually I have relatively good height.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, it's weird. I'm somewhere between 6 feet and 6'3", because whenever I go to the doctor,
that's a really big range.
Listen, let me tell you why. Whenever I go to the doctor, my doctor's like, "All right, bro, you 6'1". But anytime I go next to my cousin who's like 6'2", I'm taller than them. So it makes no sense.
It's got to be the shoes, man. It's got to be the shoes.
Nah, like we be in the house without the shoes. Who goes into their house without the shoes, bro?
Ligma says, I turned 11. I'm currently 5'9". That's such a lie, Ligma. You're small as can be. I've seen you before, Ligma. You're small as can be. Ligma looks like me when I was a kid.
Yo, Kid Blue, when he was in high school, looked like the dude from Jersey Shore. For those of you that don't know.
Yeah, you guys got to go all the way up.
He had the hairdo, the tan. He literally looked like if the dude from Jersey Shore started a YouTube channel.
Yup, you guys gotta see it. You guys gotta see it. Yeah, and guys, I don't put my my stuff on private, so you guys can see my old videos out there. I know a couple of you guys went back and started trolling, but I love it, man. I love seeing where this channel has gone thanks to you guys.
Oh, Raymond actually has a legitimate question.
Oh, can we get to it? Where is it? Did it just happen? Because I'm waiting for this.
It says, what you guys think about the Jets?
Okay, what do you think about the Jets? Oh, because I think Raymond is a Jets fan. So the Jets are in a very similar situation to the Giants, if I'm being honest. But I think
before you go further, I just want to say what I've been saying. The Jets are a lesser version of the Giants.
Right,
Continue.
Exactly. See, exactly. Me and Hub have been on board on this for a while now. Okay, Benjamin. How do you pronounce that?
It's Win. It's Win.
Win. Okay.
I know because I went to, like, it's known now because I always wear my high school's T-shirt. I went to Brooklyn Tech. It's a very diverse population, although it's like predominantly Asian. There's a lot of people with the last name Win there. So I used to pronounce it Nguyen, and then they're like, nah, bro, it's Win.
Nguyen.
Yeah.
It's Win. All I do is win. All right.
Win, bro.
But Benjamin, what's going on? Beautiful profile picture. You know it's beautiful. And I appreciate you for that. Just wondering, how old are you guys?
Yo, you forgot to highlight the super chat, bro.
Oh yeah, sorry. I got to, especially because you had a super chat, and especially for Shailene Woodley. It's Shailene Woodley for crying out loud. So, just wondering how old are you guys? I swear, yeah, I don't know if you're comfortable saying it, but I'm 22.
I'm 19.
19.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are truly the young guns, guys. We are truly.
There's a reason the podcast is called The Young Guns.
Exactly, and hey, we the young ones really doing it out here, man. We really doing it out here. Raymond says, I'm not a Jets fan. Raymond, because I could have sworn you're the guy that always asks about the Jets. But okay, you're not a Jets fan.
Oh, yo, thank you for the update, Word XXI, 58 Mavs, 52 Clippers. I just want to say, I was watching the Mavs Clippers game on was it Monday night, I think, or Sunday night, whatever night it was. I was in my Discord.
Yeah.
I was in my Discord with my friends, and bro, we got so heated because I'm a Knick fan, so there's nothing else to do. And Porzingis got ejected, and the Mavs were straight up coming back. If Porzingis stayed in that game, the Mavs were gonna win, bro. That was complete ref ball. And after the stream is over, by the way, after the stream is over, I'm going to watch the game and hang out with them again because we want to see them get revenge.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I especially seeing that. I'm still a KP fan. I still like KP.
I love Kristaps, man.
I love KP. I wish you really could have stayed. I don't even care if we would have had to deal with what do we even get for KP? We got Dennis Smith Jr. who and who else? I can't even remember.
Listen, the fact that I can't remember what the package was is all I need to know.
Exactly. Terrible.
We were talking about what we think about the Jets.
Oh yes, the Jets. They're very similar to the Giants, especially how they're trying to build themselves. They're a team that struggles with the pass rush. They're a team that's trying to develop a young secondary. Unfortunately, they had to give up their top safety in the NFL. They're a team that's trying to develop their offensive line. They're trying to develop their they hope to be as their young franchise quarterback. So they're very similar to us. My only thing with them is that they don't draft very well.
They don't draft as well as us, and even though everybody
recently, they're okay, but they're not.
Here's what I gotta say: they do not draft as well as us, and even though everybody thinks they're better in free agency than us because they get the big names, they're honestly not.
Because they don't work out.
They don't work out. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Le'Veon Bell. All right.
Look at C.J. Mosley.
Look at Kelechi Osemele. There's a lot of guys. So, you could argue 2016 was bad with free agency, but at least they had 1 year where they really put it together. Janoris, their first year, Janoris, that was the NYPD right there, man.
Yeah.
So, I think the Jets, for any Jets fans that possibly may be in the chat, you guys are on on the right track, but you veer off too many times. You know, you guys are like getting there. But it's like you take one step forward and like a half step back. It's like you guys are preventing yourself.
But I also got to keep it real with you. If Sam Darnold does not show improvement this year, he's not it.
Yeah.
The fact that I have more faith in a second year, and this is not bias, I'm speaking as objectively as possible. The fact that I have a better faith in a second year DJ than a third year Sam Darnold is a problem.
And just to note, this man's a USC player. Just a note.
And just to note, 17th overall pick Dexter Lawrence better than 3rd overall pick Quinnen Williams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir. And listen. And we won the Odell trade, and that's how we got Dexter Lawrence, baby.
Exactly, man.
Benjamin Wynn says Sam Darnold stinks.
I agree. I was being nice when I said if he doesn't work out this year, but I think I don't know. He got messed up, bro. Some players, they just get messed up, and like that's it. He first of all, he messed up by coming out a year early. He really should have stayed another year in college. And then second of all, the Jets really just fumbled the ball with him, like both of his first years. I don't know how much he could recover, bro.
Right. And if he were to come out next year, I mean, the following year, he would have just had to compete with Kyler Murray. You know,
he came out there's so many guys that should have came out in 2018, whether it was wait a year to come out 2019, I mean, but it was to wait a year like Sam Darnold or come out a year early like Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert should have came out last year instead of this year. Just like how I think Sam Darnold should have came out in 2019 instead of 2018.
Yeah, and they come out too early. Because you know what it is? You know how we're saying that you should stay another year to help your career? They're getting a lot of guys, especially their agents, hey, go out early. This is your time. You don't know what's going to happen next year. You can get hurt, ruin your career. Go out now, be a first-round pick. You know, that's really what they're telling these kids. And they're saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go out now and see what happens. I really don't understand why some like juniors who are like fifth-round prospects go out. And they're like, hey, I'm going out right now. I'm taking my chance right now. You know, I would really wait. But some people just don't want to wait, man. They say, I'm going to be a first-round pick. I'm going to just take it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Landon Collins, man. I can't, you know, I really, really am looking forward to.
Bro, Landon Collins look more ripped than anybody, bro.
Huh?
Landon Collins looks more ripped than anybody.
Looks more ripped?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see him how he looks now. I know he.
Oh, you didn't see Landon? You know how everybody on the Giants just bulked up? He looks like he's just more bulked than anybody, bro.
Oh,
He straight looks like a bodybuilder, and in terms of definition, I mean, not in terms of size. Like
let's see how that helps his cover skills. But
I mean, he's a box safety. He don't got to cover like that, but he can't cover tight ends.
He could cover tight ends. He could cover tight ends, but he missed a lot of. Oh God, he missed a lot of. I'm getting flashbacks. I used to love Landon Collins. Let me tell you, I hated Landon Collins in his rookie season. I was on my channel. I said I wanted him to be cut his rookie season. As second-round pick that we traded for.
Oh yeah. I was thinking Peppers, not Landon Collins. I just
Peppers.
realized.
Peppers is
I'm thinking Jabril Peppers. That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I was talking about.
I'm going to say, Landon Collins got a little fat to him. You know, he's not really.
Yeah. No. I don't know why in the world you said Landon Collins, but in my mind it said Jabril Peppers. Everything I just said was for Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers looks ripped, and he looks like
he can cover tight ends.
Tank. He looks like a mobile tank, like a slim torpedo, man. He's gonna be well. And I'll tell you right now, everybody gets on me about the Jabril Peppers, and I think it's a meme myself. But I love Jabril Peppers, man. He's one of my favorite players on the defense. I have extreme anticipation for him.
Jabril Peppers is literally a better version of Landon Collins, man.
He's gonna have to really step up in these shoes, fill in some shoes. I don't know whose shoes he's really gonna fill because Landon Collins didn't really hold the legacy here, but he has to.
The thing is that he holds a fake legacy with the very casual fans. Very casual fans will tell you that he was a great safety when he wasn't.
Right. And I mean, to his defense, a little bit. 2016 was phenomenal. I thought he was all over the place.
Yep. 2016 he should have been Defensive Player of the Year.
Right. Ever since then, he was just nothing.
Yeah.
He was just silent.
Jabril Peppers is already a better safety for us than Collins was, and people don't like to admit that.
Yeah, and I love Peppers, man. I do love Peppers. Especially last year, he was everywhere. Peppers was everywhere, covering anywhere outside, anywhere in the box, anywhere with the running back trying to bounce out. He was there. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I don't think he has necessarily the same hit power as Landon Collins, but you really don't need all that hit power sometimes, as long as you're able to cover, as long as you're able to be at the right spot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So Bradbury and Peppers are going to hype up our secondary. McKinney is going to be great right away. He'll fire up the rest of the guys.
I don't know about Bradbury, but Peppers is probably the most vocal guy on the team, and I love it.
Yeah. I don't think Bradbury, especially when we were talking about Bradbury earlier, that he doesn't seem very adamant to getting coached. Calvin's is signing off from Medford. I guess that's Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon.
Good night, all. Good night, Calvin.
Peace out, Calvin.
I guess you're sleeping early because you're on the West Coast and it's early over there. It's 10:30 over here. Can't hang.
Or he might be tuning into one of the games, which I don't blame him. He might be tuning into
Keep the profile pic. I don't want to.
Well, yeah, I don't want to see it. I kind of recognize.
I see what's there. I acknowledge it. All right, I acknowledge it. It's there. Nothing I can do about it. But I'm just not going to force attention to it. All right.
I think I know where it's from, but I don't want to look at it.
I think I know where it's from.
Yeah.
His name is the Hub. Just saying. Can you answer my question? Who's ripped? Who's more ripped, KB or DK Metcalf? I don't know, man. I think I'm pretty ripped, man. I've got a 0% body fat. You
would be dead.
Yeah, I would be dead. But just want to say, I just want somebody who can cover tight ends. Oh, Jabril Peppers can cover tight ends just fine.
Yeah,
Xavier Mckinney can cover. Listen, one thing I want everybody just to.
We're not going to have. Listen, tight ends are not going to be a problem for us.
Exactly. The Giants for a long time, the problem was the middle of the field because of the tight ends. Blake Jarwin, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, Jordan Reed, especially in the division. These guys were killing us, all right? Travis Kelce, when we faced the Chiefs, killed us, all right? So
and I will say we're going to have a good test with Dallas Goedert, Blake Jarwin, and Mark Andrews this year.
Exactly.
And we played San Francisco. I don't know if we could cap off George Kittle, but it's going to be a good test.
It's going to be a great test, though. I love having hard schedules because it's going to sharpen, this team. You can't be facing easy. Look at our 2016 season. We didn't deserve to be in the playoffs, man. Our defense was great. Our offense was pitiful. We scored 18 points a game.
The last 6 weeks of that season, the offense just fell off.
I mean, they were squeaking by with wins. We barely beat the Browns, who I think that year went 1-15. We barely beat the Chicago Bears. I mean, we
barely beat the Lions.
Exactly, barely beat the Lions. Like, these teams were terrible, and we didn't deserve. I'd rather deserve to be in the playoffs, than have an easy schedule and just get in because we have an easy schedule. I want this team to be sharpened, so I'm all for playing the hard defenses. I'm all for playing the air raid offenses. I want this team to learn quickly. I'm okay with the hard schedule we have in the beginning. If we can somehow squeak out some of those wins and really use that experience for later on in the season, man, we could probably run for something,
I'm telling you, I really have faith. And another one of my expectations from that video, listen, y'all got to go check out my 2020 expectations video for the Giants, bro. That's some fire content right there.
Go ahead and check it out, guys.
Another one of the things I said is I was like, don't be surprised if we split the division, if we go 3-3 in the division, man, because we're going to sweep Washington. No matter what, we're going to sweep Washington. We're going to get a win against Philadelphia for sure, because Saquon ran us to a win. It's just that Pat Shurmur pulled us out of the wins in the past 2 years. So and Philadelphia is going to collapse. Me and Kid Blue talked about this a lot of times. So we're going to get a win against Philadelphia. So I think we're going to get 3-3 at the very least in the division this year. Because I didn't even talk about Dallas, and it might be 4-2. I don't want to say that, but we could be 3-3.
Listen, I honestly think if the Giants still go like 6-10, 7-9, I think the majority of our wins may come in the division. I think we're going to sweep Washington, and in my heart of hearts, we're going 4-2 in the division.
That's what I want to say, yeah.
I believe we're going to beat Philly. Remember, we played Philly at Philly last year and only lost 23-17. It was when we were at home.
We should have won like 34-23.
Yes, we should have won. So we're competing with these teams, and the Cowboys are starting to lose their grip on us a little bit. We're starting to fight back against them. For a long time, Philly had a hold on us, but now we're starting to fight back against Dallas as well.
Saquon is the Philly killer. It's just that Pat Shurmur never allowed him to be the Philly killer.
Yeah, and oh my God, he's definitely this. But Darius Slayton is now the Philly killer too.
We got 2 Philly killers.
Yeah, we have 2 Philly killers. I mean, listen, it was hilarious because Philly fans were talking crap about Darius Slayton the week
he went out
and he killed them.
Bro,
and I had Philly fans like, yeah, I know who Darius Slayton. Yeah, Slayton's good. Slayton's good.
Bro, he's like, oh, so I heard you all talk. I heard you all talking, bro. I heard you guys were talking. Let me just go out here and have this game with Eli, by the way, not with Daniel Jones.
With Eli, and I'll tell you right now, Darius Slayton had, I think, 3 or 4 30-plus yard like receptions in that game, man. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, oh yeah, I do think the Giants are gonna go 4-2 in the division, man. I really do think so, especially with the Cowboys. We have Jason Garrett now, Mark Colombo. I think we'll be able to figure them out. And I've said this so many times. Every time we face the Cowboys, and when I do my preview video, I always say the only way to beat the Cowboys in their scheme is to be the Cowboys. The only way to beat them is to be that's their kind of scheme. The only way to beat a team that runs the ball down your throat and throws the ball deep and weakens your defense and stays on an offense that stays on the field. The only way to combat that is to do the same exact thing. Weaken their defense by running the ball.
I just got to say, Dylan Renner is capping, bro. He says, we are not sweeping Washington, cap. We win against the Bears, Cardinals, Washington, and beat the Bengals. That's it. We go 4-12. That's cap. That's cap, Dylan. That's cap. I'm sorry. That's cap, bro.
Dylan.
We're going, listen, our win range is 5 to 8 wins, in my opinion. Not 4, bro. That's cap.
Dylan, what the hell, man? So, hold on. Don't we face Cincinnati? Okay. We beat Cincinnati. All right. We beat Bengals. We beat the Redskins. We beat the Cardinals. We beat the Bears.
Listen, bro. So, we're beating the Redskins twice. I don't know why you think we're not beating the Redskins twice.
I mean, that's even when delivered, man.
Bro, even when the Giants are trash, they manage to beat the Redskins and own them, bro. Even when the Giants are straight hot garbage, we beat the Redskins.
Even the year Odell's rookie year, where we went in Odell's rookie year, we went 7-9. Okay, in 2014. That year, we killed the Redskins at their house 45-14. We looked like a world beater, and we were still hot trash in 2014. Okay, we always demolish.
Listen, y'all know my
Saquon's rookie year. Do you see what he did to the Redskins?
Saquon's rookie year and last year, didn't we sweep them both of the last 2 years? Yes. Or am I capping?
Yeah, I think. There was
we split both of the last 2 years, bro.
There was 1 year we split. I believe that was 2017. So all of Saquon's career.
Yeah. You think Saquon's about to let us lose to the Redskins, bro?
Listen, Saquon's just a division killer. He's
gonna
the Cowboys, Eagles, and Redskins.
Oh, that's another thing, bro.
Division killer.
Game 1 last year against the Cowboys was averaging 10 yards a carry. Guess why we didn't beat them? Shermer was on his just being Shermer. Saquon is legitimately a division. Shermer has cost us so many wins in the division, bro, between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Let me tell you something. Why on earth would you have a running back averaging 10 yards a carry and you rush him 11 times? 11 times for 100. 11 times 112 yards, something like that.
It was literally like 11 for 100. Listen, I could never be Saquon because if I was Saquon, I would have been talking bad about.
I would have demanded a freaking trade right there.
I would be talking bad about Pat Shermer since week 1, bro.
Listen, the Buffalo game too.
Yeah,
he killed Buffalo, and they stopped using him even quicker. What the hell? And Buffalo had the second best run defense. No, I think at the time it was the first. Tampa Bay didn't take the number 1 spot at that time. They had the best run defense.
We were going into that game. Yeah,
the best because they were picking up from last year. Because last year they had a great run defense, and they were still the best run defense by statistic. And Saquon killed them in the first drive. He killed them. The first drive, I think he had like 50 rushing yards.
Bro.
Oh man.
Listen, man.
Pat Shermer really killed us. I'll tell you right now, we were a lot better than we showed last year. I believe that.
It's because of injuries and coaching. That's
I
literally
think
why.
majority coaching, because teams always recover from injuries. A lot of teams do that.
Listen, Word says, do we have a chance against the Steelers? Yeah, we do. We have a chance. I just know how big of a chance it is. But with each passing day, I'm getting more and more confident. But I'm not saying we're going to beat the Steelers until we beat the
Listen,
Steelers.
the Steelers are infamous for losing games they should win.
They're infamous for playing down to talent.
They're infamous for doing I've said this before, they're constantly losing to backup quarterbacks. They're constantly losing to teams that are out of playoff runs, that when they're in a playoff situation they just lose to. Look at 2 years ago. 2 years ago when they missed the playoffs, they had to beat the Raiders and the Raiders smoked them. The Raiders sucked at that time. Okay? The Steelers always play down to their competition. Always.
There you go, man. And once again, if it comes down to like it's going to be a running game, which I expect it to be, is going to be a run first defense heavy game, then the Giants have a really good chance because the Steelers got the edge on defense, but we 100% got the edge when it comes to running.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree.
So we have a pretty good chance if it comes down to that.
Completely agree. Mike Nixon says, I say we're beating the Steelers. You know, I didn't have us beating it when my prediction video, beating them, but I'm going to give them not a greater chance, not over 50, but I'll say like a 35% chance. I think that's high enough. I think a 35% chance to beat the Steelers.
The Steelers are not the most yo Dylan. Why are you capping so much tonight? The Steelers are not underrated. They're perfect.
Yeah, Dylan's trying to get under our skin, man. I know when he tries to do that. Listen, he's salty, okay, because I keep ragging on him. I'll tell you, every comment that he comments, I just mentioned the Madden stream. Somehow I try to tie it in there. If we could run through them, Steelers is not beatable. Yeah, Steelers are not beatable. I mean, wait,
not unbeatable.
Not unbeatable. Yeah, absolutely right. And listen,
Raymond says their offense are not top 10.
Yeah, listen, every year they show their frauds. Every year they show their frauds.
The Steelers' offensive line is not what it was 2 years ago when it was one of the best in the league. It's still, I would still say it's top 10-ish, but that pair with James Conner is not good enough to overcome Saquon Barkley, who with a bad offensive line had 1,300 rushing yards. It's not going to be good enough to overcome that. Now, of course, it's going to all depend on how the defenses perform, but we have a good chance, man.
John says 35%. We are beating the Steelers. We match up well against them. I don't think we necessarily match up well against them, John, especially when it comes to the offensive side of the ball for the Giants. The defensive line for the Steelers are in the top 10 range, and the Giants they have a very promising offensive line. It's not there yet. We have a lot. We're going to have 3 projected new starters there, and we're still making sure we don't have injuries. 25 likes. We need more likes, guys. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like. It helps the stream out a lot. Helps the algorithm a lot as well. So make sure you guys hit that.
Let me see. We got 34 people watching, and how many likes do we have? We have 26 likes, so there should be 34 likes.
Exactly, at least 34 likes, guys. So can we get it up there? Can we get it up there? TJ Watt should have won Defensive Player of the Year.
I listened. TJ was good, but I wouldn't say that was cap, but he wasn't that good to be DP of the Year, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But Dupree is good. Watt is good. Listen, they have a really good defensive line. I'm not sure how that matches up.
We're not gonna contain them, but we don't need to contain them. We just need to, as weird and as generic as this sounds, we don't need to contain them. We just need to mitigate them in a way.
Yeah, John says, "Kibble, did you check out Micah Parsons yet?" No, I did not yet. I've been working on the Nick Gates video for such a long time that it's really taken away my time. But I'm going to be checking out Micah Parsons soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really anxious to see the San Francisco game, not in hopes of winning. Of course, I want to win. I hope we win, right? But not in in a reality that we do win. I really want to see how we fare against the best of the best, especially we face the Baltimore Ravens as well. I want to see how we face these teams. I want to see how this Giants defense reacts to Lamar Jackson's running ability. I want to see how the offensive line reacts to the 49ers defensive line. I want to see every single scenario possible to try to mold these players, and hopefully they can learn from playing against the best of the best, So I'm really anxious to see how we face up against the Ravens and the 49ers.
She Got Sports in the chat. Listen, She Got Sports. We've been trying to contact you on Twitter, man.
Yeah. Listen, hold on. She Got Sports actually said, if I'm not mistaken, she said that there's somebody posing as her. So
Oh,
I hope this is the real She Got Sports, but I know she was talking about that there's someone posing as her going into people's streams and stuff like that. I hope. Which account?
which account? What you mean, which account, bro?
Oh, her personal or her she has her name Lauren. She has a personal Twitter account and then the She Got Sports Twitter account.
How do we know it's you though?
Yeah, right. She's like, haha, this is me.
There's no way for
that's what they all say.
Yeah. If it's actually you, then hit either me or KB up on the She Got Sports Twitter account right now. Just hit one of us up.
Well, don't just force her to do that, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. Lauren, we definitely want to put get a stream because I don't think you've ever really collabed with any Giants YouTubers. So we definitely don't want to feel like you're discluded from the community. And you've been part of the community, so I think you've been making videos before I've been making videos. So
we've been trying to get you on the whatchamacallit,
the tripod.
The tripod, yeah, for a while now.
Yeah, so if you're interested, Lauren, we definitely want to have you on for if you're available for a Sunday night. That's when we usually do those streams with me, the Hub, and OGR. It would be pretty fun. So if you're interested, yeah, hit us up and we could try to get that going. Whose channel is going to be on this week?
Well, it was on mine last week, and it was on OGR's the week before, so I think it's going to be yours.
It's mine. Okay, so all up to you, Lauren, if you got time. But just messaged you. Okay, cool. So what else? we were talking about our competition, our schedule. Are there any real games you want to see?
I was gonna say, I want to see the same games you do. Of course I want to see how the offensive line performs, but I'm gonna be looking at those games to see how the defense is. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I really want to see how they perform, man.
Especially since literally just a couple minutes ago I realized we're gonna have George Kittle. I want to see how our tight end defense is now.
And Lauren, we do it every Sunday. So if you can't this Sunday, we can definitely do it next Sunday or the Sunday after that. It doesn't matter. We're always here every Sunday. So whenever a Sunday that you're free, we can do it. Dylan Renner says, "Do you regret taking hella shots at DK Metcalf?" And
you did take a lot of shots at DK last year, bro.
You and Jay-Zach pounded him in the draft live reaction. Let me tell you something. If there was one team that DK Metcalf would actually be beneficial from, it was the freaking Seattle Seahawks. Okay, because they never utilize like top wide receiver talent. Yes, Doug Baldwin is all right, Tyler Lockett's all right, but Russell Wilson really makes up for everything on that team. Like the offensive line has been terrible for years. The running game's all right. It's great actually. And the wide receivers never been that great. They use random tight ends. They use random wide receivers a lot. So DK Metcalf, and especially the offense that they run the ball and throw the ball down the field just like the Cowboys do. So it fits DK perfectly. Listen, if DK was going into a complicated offense, you guys can probably name a complicated offense. I don't really know of a complicated offense. Maybe the Chiefs. Maybe the Philadelphia Eagles, they run a lot of horizontal plays. I don't know if DK would take that. Any plays that you need, a lot of route running where they utilize a whole route tree, DK cannot run routes. I don't care what anybody says.
By the way, shout out to Bradley in the chat. He's just tuning in, and I do know what you're talking about with packing barrels. Visit, you've been spamming the same question if we like the profile pic, bro. Listen.
He wants you. He's asking you. He's asking you.
I haven't looked at the profile pic since I acknowledged it, man. All I'm looking at is your name.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
That's all I'm gonna say, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Am I ready for the NBA lottery? No, I'm not, because bro, the NBA college.
Who even cares anymore?
The college season, it's gonna be the same thing for the NFL next year. How in the world is this gonna happen? That's what I'm interested in. But I ain't ready for the NBA lottery, bro.
It's not even that. When are the Knicks going to get the number 1 overall pick, man? It's just never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
It's just never going to happen. And I know everybody wants LaMelo Ball. We're going to miss out on him, too.
I don't want LaMelo Ball. There was somebody else. I don't know if Mike Nixon is still in here. He told me about somebody last night when we were talking basketball. Okay. I can't remember, but it's basically the next guy up after LaMelo that they're, in the top 3 prospects. I forgot his name.
I gotta talk to CK about that because he knows all about those prospects. But he loves LaMelo Ball.
Look at Toast's comment.
I'm waiting for Kid Blue said that putting on is Dak Prescott. Yeah, because everybody keeps saying I'm a Cowboys fan. Whatever. R.J. Hampton, Anthony Edwards.
I think it was R.J. Hampton. I think, but I'm not sure. Yo, visit is not stopping, bro.
He says, "You know what it is."
I already confirmed that I know what it is, bro.
Yeah, but are you seeing the same profile picture? I'm just seeing the guy.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Yeah,
because he said he changed it and let us know if it updates. So I don't want to know what you changed it to.
He's lying, bro.
Yeah, he wants us to click on it to
exactly
look closer. I love the USC center. He's a monster. Listen, he's from USC. He's a no-go.
That's all I gotta say. Yeah,
he's a no-go. He's a bust. How do I know?
He's from USC.
He's from USC.
There's only been like one player in the history of the NFL that's worked out coming from USC.
Yeah, like a couple of players. That's like Reggie Bush.
That's the one I was gonna say. I don't know anybody else.
Reggie Bush, and I guess you could argue Carson Palmer. Right?
Oh yeah, with Carson Palmer, he had a good NFL career.
But his season, his career really didn't take off until he was with the Cardinals.
I could probably go for another couple minutes, KB.
Yeah, I got 10 more minutes. You got less than that, or you could do 10 or 5.
I got like 5.
Okay, 5. We're cool on 5. All right, guys, throw out your final comments as we get ready to end this week's edition of the Young Guns podcast.
I'm not even gonna read Visit's comment, bro. A heavy pause.
He said it's my man.
because the picture is heavy pause.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna attempt that. I'm gonna highlight Bob's comment. He says, Kid Blue, can you tell us about your time coaching a football team? I actually will. It was, I never mentioned my experience, and I was trying to tie that into the, Joe Judge making coaches run laps. Okay, so there was a point. If you guys haven't seen my video, there was a point in my career, right? I was a volunteer coach for a city football team, and this city football team varied from like little kids all the way to like high school kids. It wasn't one team; they were grouped out. But when they were stretch and practice, they would be all together in a circle, and it's been a couple of weeks me in this, and I'm new to this whole coaching thing. I didn't know anything that's really going on. So I would just, do my thing, help the kids out. And the way I really like talk to these kids is I kind of earn their respect by like, being cool with them. You know what I'm saying? Like not like yell at them, because who am I going to yell at them? At the time I weighed like just about 100 pounds. I'm 5 foot. Okay. Most of these kids are bigger than me. What do
football players, bro?
Right. What do I look like yelling at them? Right. So the way I earn their respect is kind of teach them in the right way, keep helping them, learn new things in the most respectful way. And they respected me back. So I never really yelled at them. Now, the guy who hired me, because I was a volunteer, so I didn't necessarily get hired, but the guy who brought me on, he was the CEO and like the owner of the team. Mm-hmm. And he's like an owner of the team / like assistant coach or coach. And he came by one time. And, I thought me and him were cool. So we were in our stretching circle. We were all doing stretches, and I'm walking around making sure these kids are doing the right stretches, make sure they don't pull a hammy or something, right? Make sure they're doing it right, and they're not being lazy with it. And I'm helping them out and stuff like that. But I'm not like screaming and yelling and telling, hey, what are you doing? All that stuff. So the CEO comes out and says, hey, what are you doing? You're not being vocal enough. Why aren't you being vocal and all that stuff? Like yelling at me in front of the whole team, in front of the whole team. It was the most belittling moment of my life. Yes, they were kids, but how do you then turn around and demand respect from those people when you just got reprimanded like that? You know what I'm saying? Like he belittled you to the point where he made you equal to the players. And I was like, damn, this man really like took my whatever authority I had and just threw it down, and whatever respect I had or earned, just threw it down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it really was. That's what I was trying to convey. And I know that's not how Joe Judge is, but my point was when I mentioned that was you don't want a coach to be put in a position where he feels like his authority is being challenged by being disciplined.
The chat is going wild, bro. They say you should have fought him.
Yeah, you know what? Square up right now. I'm ready.
Dylan Rudder said twice, small lives matter.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, it's a learning experience. I left the team eventually because those guys were way too hard on the kids. Like, I get it; it's a serious sport, but at the end of the day, like they weren't even keeping track of the damn records because they're not really like serious, right? They weren't even keeping track of the records of the wins and losses. So why are you going to take this like serious, like it's life or death? So I left the team, and now I'm currently searching. I'm currently searching for an actual team to coach. But
Bradley says, "Can you do the BBS pose? The Bronx B squad pose, that is."
oh, gotcha. What is it?
Yeah. Yo, Bradley says if he goes to USC, he belongs to the
To the
streets.
streets.
Yo, that's facts though. That's facts.
Listen. I want everybody to pay attention to Austin Jackson, drafted out of USC,
18th overall.
18th overall to the Miami Dolphins, and let's see how well he holds up a very fragile Tua Tagovailoa, and you guys will then understand. Summon the Demogorgon, as Nerding Out Sports said.
That's the time I got for tonight, though, bro.
All right, man. Yeah, it's 10:55, guys. It is over. This was actually a really good stream. I really enjoyed this stream. We had a lot to talk about, and yeah, always great being on with you, man.
Bro, it's always fun, especially when we got to joke about Demogorgons and USC and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Boise State is my favorite team, Bradley. So just to let you know, I liked his name just escaped my mind.
Fake fan.
The tackle Ezra Cleveland. Yeah. Out of Boise State. But yeah, you could go ahead and close it out, Hub.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in, man. We had a nice turnout tonight. Peaked at around 34, 35. Thank you guys so much. We do the stream because of y'all, and you guys came out with some really good questions tonight, and obviously the joking was pretty good as well. Shout out to everybody that was new in here, like Visit, that was sent over by PTA, Calvin, who was already gone, and there's somebody else that was also new, and shout out to John Kelly, who literally just tuned in as we're ending. But thank you guys for tuning in. Sub up Kid Blue, sub me up, and we're out, man.
See you guys later.